Hi everybody, welcome back to our CMA classes. So we were doing SEBI laws and regulation. Let's continue the remaining parts of SEBI laws and regulation. So yes, we are going for merchant banking first. Okay, so this is the combination of banking and consultancy services. Okay, so we know what the bank does, the functions of bank we already read in Banking Regulation Act 1949. Okay, so the main function of bank is always to accept the money from the public and lend it. Okay, and further there are so many other functions also, but this is the main primary functions done by the bank sector. Okay, so the merchant banking is what the combination of banking, and second, they also provide with banking facility, they are also providing the consultancy services, consultant services जिसको कह सकते हैं. Okay, so yes, so here I have written merchant banking is a banking plus the consulting services. Okay, this is the combination of these two, which means it provide consultancy to its client for what? For the financial, for the marketing, for the manager, for the legal matters. Okay, on this basis they are providing the consulting services to their client. Okay, and consultancy means to provide, to advise, guide, give the guidance, and services it actually help business to grow. Okay, so it helps a business person to start a business or to expand. Okay, so this is the main function of what does a merchant banking do. So we know a simple thing which is done by merchant banking. Okay, so there are some of the objectives of merchant banking. First, they provide fund to the companies. It also gives the underwriting, which we can see in simple language gives an assurance, or like it acts like insurance. Okay, manage their portfolio. Now how they are going to manage their portfolio? Okay, bank will look into the company's asset, do computation of debit and credit to ensure that no, they are not incurring any of the losses in their company. Okay, if they are actually incurring any losses, in that case the measures are taken by these companies. ठीक है, okay, which company? Merchant banking की बात कर रहे हैं. Okay, yes, and then they offering the corporate advisory, which is means for the startup company, or for if the business really want to grow, to expand their business. Okay, in that case also they give the advisory. Okay, this is what offering corporate advisory means. And last, they are saying the managing corporate issues, which actually serves as intermediary bank. We will read here. Okay, so this is the motive, we can say this is the objective of merchant banking. Okay, so we know now what is the meaning of merchant banking. Now we are going to use the term merchant banker. Merchant banking was the combination of banking and consultancy services. Okay, now what is the meaning of merchant banker here? Okay, merchant banker actually act as intermediaries. Okay, यहाँ पे we have read that they serves as intermediaries. For what purpose they are doing that? Okay, so here what happens, the company wants to do the public issue. Okay, we read, right, when they really want money, what they do? Public issue, right? Okay, by what means? We know IPO, FPO or OFS. Okay, so this is a long process, okay, which involves so many process, including the legal compliances and all, which is basically not done by any of the company. Okay, legal procedures are, as you know, they are long, taking time so much, or they have a lot of procedure involved in that compliance itself also. Okay, so it takes a lot of time, and a lot of knowledge and qualification is specifically need for that. Okay, so in company usually every person we know is not having that much qualification which is required by the merchant banker. Okay, basically the merchant banking bankers are acting like the middleman here. Okay, they are acting like the intermediaries here. Okay, what are they doing now? Okay, what I told you, the company really wants to do the public issue. Okay, we know this, what is public issue. Okay, how this is done. Okay, and which people is, there are some of the categories, okay, which is to be fulfilled. Okay, so now they are saying for doing the public issue, the company cannot go for the public issue direct. Okay, as there are some of the legal compliance procedures and all which is to be fulfilled. Okay, and normally company cannot do that. Okay, so that's why the company need the merchant banker here. ठीक है, where the merchant banker is acting like what? The merchant banker is acting like a middleman here, ठीक है, and they are helping the company, okay, to do the public issue. So here I can simply say the merchant banker are the middleman. They are the intermediaries for what? To doing the public issue. By whom? The company, okay. And basically these are so many procedure, there are so many compliances involved here. They do it like quickly, ठीक है, which involve marketing, legal compliance, demat consultancy, creating demat for the securities, and price discovery and underwriting, ठीक है. So this is basically done by merchant banker, ठीक है. So that's why the company need merchant banker to do the public offer, public issue, ठीक है. So in simple term, we know the meaning of merchant banking, merchant banker, ठीक है. So no, now let's go for what I have written. Merchant banker is intermediary specializing in business of advising. As what was the definition of the merchant banking? Combination of banking plus they are also providing with the banking facility, they are also giving the consultancy services. So here they are, the merchant banker are the intermediaries who is specializing in the banking of advising the issuing company for raising finance through the issue of security to public, known as initial public offer, ठीक है. All the services offered and undertaken by the merchant banker are known as the merchant banking. Simple है ना? हाँ जी. So they, now we know the difference between merchant banking and banking. Usually people confuse what is basic difference. Everything which is done by bank, the bank which is providing the facilities, along with that consultancy advisory is just provided by the merchant bankers, ठीक है. This is the simple, I can simply say, ठीक है. So since the name of merchant banking contain the word banking, many people get confused it with the commercial banking, ठीक है. However, both are entirely different kind of activities. The main function of bank is to accept money from the public for the purpose of lending or on demand and withdrawal on the request by the checks, draft or other as per Banking Regulation Act 1949. This we know, ठीक है. A banking company to initial internal underwriting support and to manage any issue. These supports include ensuring, guaranteeing, underwriting, participating in managing and carrying out of issue, public, private, of state, municipal or any other loans or any kind of securities or any company, corporation, association, and lending of money for the purpose of any such issue, ठीक है. So hope so मोटा मोटी you know the meaning of merchant banking now, ठीक है, and what is basically the merchant banker. Now they are also known as the investor banker, ठीक है. For this they have to get registered under SEBI. Okay, so let's go for some of the things which is written here. Registration of merchant banker. Every merchant banker before initiating its activities must seek the permission of regulatory authority SEBI through registration. Registration with SEBI is mandatory to carry out the business of merchant banking in the India. An applicant should comply with the following norms. The applicant should be a body corporate, okay, which should not carry on business other than those connected with the securities market. Now here there are very simple things which is written here, okay. So I'm just reading out them, okay. They are not that much important, okay. So the applicant should have the necessary infrastructure like office space, equipment, manpower, etc. The applicant must have at least 2 employees with the prior experience in the merchant banking. The applicant must not have any associate company, subsidiary or group company already registered as a merchant banker, and the applicant should not proved guilt of any offense in the financial service industry. The merchant seeking permission of SEBI to become a merchant banker should have minimum net worth of 5 crore. So this was just important, otherwise you can simply read them, okay. Now on the basis of net worth, merchant banking is categorized into 4 parts, okay. So very first part they are saying 1 crore is the net worth and the capital adequacy requirement. This is the very first category. As I told you, the merchant banking is actually divided into 4 categories. Okay, let me write it here. Okay, category. Okay, so the very first thing they are saying, they need the 1 crore rupees. What is that? The net worth. Okay, and the capital adequacy. Okay, capital adequacy. So Yes, these merchant banker are allowed to carry on the activity of managing public issue and act as advisor. So for very first, what are they doing? They can act as the advisor. Okay, and what was the minimum net worth and capital adequacy? That was 1 crore. Okay, second, for the second category, net worth and the capital adequacy requirement is 50 lakh. ठीक है, कितना है? It's 50 lakh. ठीक है, for these people, these are allowed to act as advisor, consultant, manager, underwriter of or the portfolio manager. With that they can do advisor, ठीक है, consultant, ठीक है, manager and underwriter or the portfolio manager, can I say. ठीक है, third category was of the 20 lakh. They are saying for category 3, the net worth and the capital adequacy requirement is 20 lakh. They are allowed to act as underwriter or consultant to the issuer. ठीक है, underwriter and consultant to the issuer here. ठीक है, and the fourth category, they are no net worth and the capital adequacy requirement. These can only allow to be act as advisor and consultant. So you might have a confusion here. As the very first, they should have at least 1 crore. Okay, that was the net worth and the capital adequacy which is to be maintained by these merchant banking. Okay, so for that they say that is going to be, they can act as what? Advisor. Advisor for whom? Okay, on activity of managing public issue. Okay, so don't get confusion on the managing public issue and act as advisor, consultant, manager, underwriter of a portfolio. Then first crore, 1 crore, then 20, 50, 20, and there was last no net worth or the capital adequacy. ठीक है, so for that last was they can only act as advisor and the consultant issue. So they are basically divided into 4 parts. Okay, so yes, there are some other things which is written here, that what are the IPO requirement in India. An initial public offering is the process through which the companies sell their first share to the public. We know this, ठीक है, when the shares are actually set, ठीक है, which we know that is initial public offer, when it is offered for the very first time. ठीक है, on what basis? On any of the categories. ठीक है, that category share is offered for the very first time, that would be the initial public offer. ठीक है, the IPO are often announced by the smaller companies seeking capital to enlarge. We know this, but they can also be done by much larger privately held company as well. Large privately held companies generally resort to an IPO to raise capital by selling share of its ownership and receiving the fund when it's need. ठीक है, so basically I can say this is done majority by whom? By the smaller company, but in case of larger privately company, they can also go for this. ठीक है, when they really need to raise the capital. ठीक है, so yes, what are the eligibility criteria for IPO application mandated by SEBI? SEBI has mandated the following category based on the company profitability for any company desirous for the issuing IPO. So in the previous session we discovered that there was some of the condition for these people cannot go for the initial public offer, right? And there were some of the condition, if they are not fulfilled, then they cannot go for doing the issuing IPO. Okay, we remember the conditions now. Okay, so now the company is saying on the basis of company's profitability, okay, for any companies desirous of issuing a IPO. Earlier it was on the basis of company or some of the dematerialization form and all, it is to be done. ठीक है, electronic form and some of the forms and all, they were in the categories. ठीक है, but now it is done on the basis of company's profitability. Okay, so the company should have at least, first let me go for this part. ठीक है, so the net tangible asset of a company should be 3 crore for each 3 previous year. Okay, so the net tangible asset should be at least 3 crore of a company of the 3 previous year, and from this net tangible asset the cash and cash equivalent shall not exceed 50%. Okay, which means 3 crore half can be cash and cash equivalent, but it should not exceed 50%. ठीक है, which में 1.5 करोड़ से ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए यहाँ पे cash and cash equivalent. ठीक है, so let's go for the thing. This is which is written the condition about the company's profitability. They are saying the company should have at least 3 crore in what? In the net tangible asset in each of the previous 3 years. And out of this 3 crore amount, not more than 50% should be cash or cash equivalent, like money in account, cash receivable, or investment account. Okay, that could be cash, definitely cash receivable or investment account. Okay, however, if the initial public offer is being made through offer through sale, this restriction, this is one of the exception here. Okay, so they are saying if it is done by initial public offer which is made by offer through sale, this restriction of 50% of monetary asset is not going to be applied. Okay, so this 50% applicability restriction will be removed. Okay, so very first point they are saying the company should have the net tangible asset of 3 crore in the previous 3 years. Okay, on from that it should not exceed 50% of cash and cash equivalent. Now we know what is cash and cash equivalent. Okay, so simply can I say the company should have 3 crore net tangible asset in the previous year. Okay, past 3 previous year. Okay, and it should not exceed, the cash and cash equivalent should not exceed 50% of it. Okay, जी हाँ. Second point says 1 crore the net worth. Okay, it should have net worth of 1 crore for each 3 previous year. Earlier it was also saying na same thing, but that was of net tangible. ठीक है, हाँ जी. Now it's saying about the net worth. So earlier it was 3 crore na, here it is 1 crore. ठीक है, so then company should have a net worth of at least 1 crore rupee in each of the previous 3 year. ठीक है, so they are saying at least for both the cases they are saying at least. ठीक है, so don't confuse them. So yes, first was of net tangible asset, the company should have at least 3 crore past कितना 3 previous year. ठीक है जी, okay. And 50% cash and cash equivalent should not exceed. ठीक है, 50%. ठीक है जी, okay. Second part they are saying the net worth the company should have the net worth of what? कितना? 1 crore, and again during this 3 previous year. ठीक है जी, हाँ जी. And third says average operating profit should be 15 crore again for the 3 previous year. ठीक है, okay. The company shall have an average operating profit, ठीक है, which is at least 15 crore rupees, which is pre-tax. ठीक है, in each of the 3 year among the 5 previous year. Okay, so when it comes to 3 years, they firstly say that it should be in 3 previous year, but among 5 previous years, they are talking about the among the previous 5 years, among that 5 previous year, at least in the 3 year the company should have at least kitna operating profit of 15 crore. ठीक है, so hope so this point is clear. So what are the condition for the companies? There are other conditions also. ठीक है, so let's rewind here, यहाँ पे याद करना है सब कुछ. ठीक है, so first they are saying the company should have first the net tangible asset. ठीक है, net tangible of asset कितना? 3 crore. ठीक है, and from that net tangible asset it should be for कितना? 3 ना, हाँ 3 previous year. ठीक है, from that 50% cash and cash equivalent cannot be exceed. ठीक है, मतलब they can be cash and cash equivalent in that case. ठीक है, but it should not exceed 50% of 3 crore. ठीक है, okay, it should be less than 3 crore and at least बोला था है. ठीक है ना, हाँ जी, एटलीस्ट 3 करोड़ नेट टेंजिबल एसेट. ओके ओके, सो व्हाट अबाउट द नेट वर्थ कितना था? इट वाज 1 करोड़ अगेन 3 इयर्स. ठीक है, येस, फॉर अगेन 3 प्रीवियस ईयर. ठीक है जी. व्हाट अबाउट द एवरेज ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट? देयर वाज, येस, एवरेज operating profit was again of 15 crore, but this was a pre-tax. ठीक है, pre-tax amount. ठीक है, 3 year among that 5 previous year. ठीक है, from that 5 previous year, in the 3 year at least the company should have the operating profit, the average profit, operating profit. ठीक है, of कितना? 15 crore. ठीक है, so yes, इतना तो clear है. Let's go for the other part. If the company has taken a new name, ठीक है, then 50% of the total revenue earned in the previous 1 year should have come from the activity performed by the company after assuming the new name. ठीक है, so what are they saying? First thing, if the company have changed the name, so the 50% of the revenue should be earned from after the the name is being changed. Okay, so 50% of the total revenue earned in the previous year. Let me read it again so don't get confused. Earlier the company's name was different, later on the company's name is different. Okay, so the 50% should be earned by the company. Okay, if the company has taken a new name, okay, then 50% of the total revenue earned in the previous 1 year should have come from the activity performed by the company after assuming the new name. Once they have changed the name of organization, of the corporate, of the company, in that case the revenue earned should be at least 50% after changing the name of that company. ठीक है, if not then again नहीं कर सकते आप IPO. ठीक है ना, हाँ जी. So this is going to be the fourth point. 50% of revenue should earn after changing the name of that company. Then the total value of issue share of the IPO by the company should not more than 5 times the net worth of the company before the issue of IPO. So can I say the total value of issue size, there is issue size, ठीक है, and of the IPO by the company should not be more than 5 times. 5 times of what? 5 times of net worth. ठीक है, net worth of the company before issuing of the IPO. ठीक है, issuing IPO. So last point is about the non-profitability routes. So up to this we have to keep everything in our mind. ठीक है, so let's rewind this part is important. ठीक है guys, so as I told you the categories. ठीक है, कि if there are 2 parts. ठीक है, ये वाला part जल्दी आओ where हाँ where the issuer cannot make public issue or the right issue. ठीक है, these were the condition, right? So hope so you have everything here. ठीक है, so let's go for the other part. When it comes to companies profitability, again they cannot go for IPO. ठीक है, and they are saying if they want to do IPO they have to maintain some of the company's profitability. On that basis, what was the first part says about the net tangible asset कितना 3 crore, 3 previous year. ठीक है, 50% at least they can maintain, not more than 50%. ठीक है, cash and cash equivalent. ठीक है, second is about the 1 crore. 1 crore of what? Net worth should be of at least 1 crore. ठीक है, in 3 previous year. ठीक है, what about the average operating profit? Yes, average operating profit should be at least 15 crore. ठीक है, among 5 years, in 3 years the company should have the average operating profit of 15 crore. ठीक है, once if the name is changed by the company's name is changed. ठीक है, in that case the 50% of the revenue should be earned by the company after changing its name. ठीक है, so yes, next says about the total value of the issue share. ठीक है, it should not exceed the 5 times of the net worth of the company before issuing of the IPO. ठीक है, so these are the condition. We have to keep the conditions guys. ठीक है, so hope so you understand a bit. ठीक है, so this lecture is up to this. We'll continue in our next session. Till then do the revision guys. बस पढ़ते रहो, मस्त रहो. ठीक है, तब तक के लिए टुडे दिस इज सौम्या संतोष. विल मीट इन द नेक्स्ट